Hey there, my name is Adam from the team here at Parabola, and in this quick video, I'll show you why fast-moving teams like Caraway, On Running, and Flexport are turning to Parabola to drive millions of dollars in cost savings, save thousands of hours every year, and finally take on projects that used to feel totally out of reach. If you're new here, Parabola is a workflow builder that makes it easy to organize and transform messy data from anywhere, even PDFs, emails, and spreadsheets, so that you can automate the work that you always thought would be manual. Teams usually find us when their data, which can be both structured and unstructured, is scattered across siloed sources, making it really difficult to get visibility into key parts of the business, prioritize cost savings initiatives, and take action on exceptions all in real time. On top of that, teams are usually buried in manual processes, they're short on IT resources, and they're really eager to use AI, but struggling to break away from just keeping the lights on without adding headcount, which usually isn't an option. With Parabola, you can transform messy data from emails, spreadsheets, and PDFs into clean, reliable workflows, all without writing code or waiting on engineering resources. The only prerequisite to using Parabola is just being able to describe in plain language what you're actually trying to automate. If you can do that, Parabola's deeply integrated AI can help you do the rest. Now, let's talk about how easy it is to build a Parabola flow from scratch before we walk through a fully built out example. At the heart of Parabola is an AI-powered chat interface that makes building feel conversational. Just describe in plain language what you'd like to automate, and Parabola will not only provide an overview of how to build your flow, but will also recommend best practices based on hundreds of thousands of other flows and tap into our deep collection of use case specific knowledge to ultimately make sure your team is building with best practices and operational excellence in mind. Ultimately, Parabola will add the right steps directly to the canvas, helping you build a flow in a matter of minutes. Along the way, troubleshooting any errors and breaking down technical concepts, allowing operators to push the boundaries of automation further than ever before. Now, let's take a look at a quick example. Maybe I want to go ahead and compare packing list data we're receiving via email with our purchase order data living in ShipHero. So ultimately, we can alert the team of any discrepancies so that we can go and take action on anything that was over delivered, under delivered, or even missing from that shipment. Now, let's think for a second about what would have to happen if you were going to do this manually. Maybe you're downloading a PDF received in your email, you're trying to copy and paste data from that PDF into a spreadsheet before you go export CSV data from ShipHero or Shopify or NetSuite. And then you're building a series of Excel functions to try to join and compare this data. And then the next time you receive an email, you have to do this whole process all over again. With Parabola, all of your data is gathered and organized automatically, whether it comes in a nice CSV file or maybe an unstructured PDF that we actually need to parse and organize using AI. Not to mention the tens of thousands of other data sources that customers are pulling into Parabola on a daily basis. Once we've pulled in data across your tech stack, the next thing that we need to do is transform it, which might involve things like cleaning your data, combining it across sources, transforming it, and performing calculations. Said differently, anything that you previously have done in a spreadsheet, now automated and standardized in Parabola. To set up one of these steps, all you need to do is just describe in plain language exactly what you'd like to automate, and Parabola turns that intent into action. We can see here we're starting with 4 columns of data, and we're asking Parabola to create one column for receiving discrepancy, and based on that value, we also want to create a SKU status column that should include one of these values. Not only are we adding those 2 new columns to our data set here, but we're also getting a summary of the AI generated code that was created and applied against our data set to transform it so we understand exactly what's happening each step of the way. Once we've combined our data, we've cleaned it, we've transformed it, the last thing to do is immediately action on that data. Whether that means emailing the team a file attachment, sending a Slack message, maybe updating values in Shopify, or even creating a dashboard or visualization so that the whole team has visibility into your tech stack. And because Parabola automatically documents every single step in your process as you build using AI, you're not building some black box that no one else on the team will ever understand, but rather a well-documented, standardized process that anyone else on the team can quickly maintain and build on top of. Finally, the next time that you need to actually run this flow, everything happens automatically, whether that is the next time that you receive an email, or maybe you want this process to run every morning at 8 a.m. Now that we understand the fundamentals of Parabola, let's take a look at some real-world use cases. In practice, this might look something like automatically reconciling inventory levels across siloed systems, comparing carrier invoices against rate cards to identify discrepancies, or maybe automatically performing a three-way PO match. In short, with Parabola, your team can finally tackle projects that used to feel impossible without tech resources and focus on initiatives that'll actually move the business forward. With that, good luck building the future of your team's operations with Parabola.